and welcome back to another video. I am going to film 2 videos today wearing the same outfit. So the next 2 videos you see will probably be me in this outfit. Don't judge me, I don't feel like changing. But today's video is going to be my 19-week update, pregnancy update. Today I'm 20 weeks and 2 days. And I'm gonna do my 19-week update, kind of just give you guys a rundown of what it's been like and answer some questions that you guys have asked me over on Instagram. So my 19th week has pretty much been like every other week in my pregnancy. However, my sciatica pain, I'm not sure if it's because I'm stretching a little bit more or I'm trying not to sit for long periods of time, has kind of like calmed itself down. I'm also still not all like completely off of my Bengesta nausea medicine. I take it at least twice a week, just depends on the week. My biggest problem is that I go long periods without eating. I have always been that way. I do eat as often as I should. I would just, like, if I'm busy, I will go like a long period without eating. And normally when I'm not pregnant, that's fine and dandy, I don't feel anything. But when I am pregnant, I'm like nauseous and lightheaded, and when I do get around to eating, he just brings that back up since it's been so long. So I'm trying to get better at that. I am trying to eat more often. I just feel like eating is another job. Like, you have to eat every 2 hours just to, like, it's just a lot. And I don't eat 6 meals a day. The most that I eat is 3 meals a day, and so it is just hard to sneak in a snack here and there. The one thing I do make sure that I do have is breakfast, especially this week. When I was pregnant with the girls, I had to eat by 8 o'clock in the morning or I was immediately sick at 8:01. Like, it was a must. He has not done that to me, but if I have not eaten about 9:30ish in the morning, then I feel sick. So one thing I do for sure do is eat breakfast, whether that be eggs or Chick-fil-A breakfast, which has been a huge craving of mine this time around. And then cereal. I actually craved cereal this week, Fruit Loops cereal, and I was at Target buying some things, and so I purchased Fruit Loops cereal. Of course, he wasn't a fan afterwards, but that's okay. I keep craving it, so I'm gonna keep eating it. Cereal has really been a big craving this week, and Chick-fil-A breakfast has actually been a craving my entire pregnancy. I think I forgot to mention that in my last video. I also had my anatomy scan this week. It was like at 20 weeks and a day, but that's okay. I'm gonna add it into this video. And it was a very nerve-wracking, I guess, ultrasound. I have actually never been nervous for any anatomy scan, and this time it was like I was just like anticipating that something was wrong. And if you don't know what anatomy scan, it's pretty much like an in-depth ultrasound where they look at everything about the baby, like parts that I don't even know how to pronounce, they look at. And so I was there for a good 2.5 hours between waiting and getting the ultrasound done and then seeing the doctor. It was a specialist, it wasn't my actual OB. He doesn't do anatomy scans in depth in his office, and so he sent me to another office. And the anatomy scan, like the ultrasound, pretty much took about 35-40 minutes in itself, because he was upside down and she could not get like to see everything, and so I had to keep moving from left to right, kind of just like to position him so that he would allow her to get see everything that she needed to be seen. It was confirmed that he was a baby boy. She was like, oh yeah, that's a boy. If you are new here, I actually got done a sneak peek test, which is something that you can either order online on their website or do it at a private ultrasound place near you. I did it at a private ultrasound place near me, and they take blood, they send it to sneak peek, and they're able to tell you if you're having a boy or a girl based on your DNA. And so I did it about 12 weeks, and they were able to tell me that I was having a baby boy, and we were so excited, and I could not wait to confirm at my anatomy scan that I was having a baby boy. And so he finally was like moved and she got positioned to be able to see what he was, and it was confirmed. We're having a baby boy, which makes things a little bit more real. I do feel, I keep looking down because they keep texting me, but I do feel like this pregnancy has in a way gone by fast, but it has also actually dragged out because I worry about every little single thing. I don't remember when I felt the girls, and I don't remember how fast I actually like felt them. Like, when did it stop feeling like a flutter and actually felt them? And so right now they still feel like a flutter. Sometimes if I'm like really still, I'm like, yeah, I feel him. And actually the other day Anthony and I were in bed a couple days ago within my 19-week period, and we were laying in bed and he was positioned to where my stomach was lopsided. And Anthony was like, he asked me pretty much like if he's home, he will ask me almost every 2 hours if the baby's okay. If he's at work, he'll ask me in the morning when I wake up, and he'll ask me as soon as he gets home. And so he asked me when we were in bed if the baby was okay, and I was like, yeah, do you want to see if you can feel him? And he felt him a little bit, but it's kind of like just like he felt him because he was near like my stomach, but it wasn't like, whoa, I feel him. And so he actually saw him more than he felt him, but my stomach was lopsided, and you can tell exactly where he was positioned. And when I would poke him, he would move and I could feel him. And so that week she experienced last week, which was 19 weeks. And it was so amazing to be able to see that he was in a certain position. I also think I have felt hiccups this time around. I have never been able to determine what a hiccup feels like, but this past week I just feel like little bubbles, and I feel like it's a hiccup. So I'm gonna call it a hiccup and say that at 19 weeks I am feeling hiccups when the baby has hiccups. And it is such a weird feeling, but it's a funny feeling. But of course, any feeling, to me, I love feeling the baby. It's one of my favorite parts of pregnancy. Actually, the only part I enjoy of pregnancy is feeling the baby. And so being able to think that I recognize that he's having hiccups is something I've never recognized before. So it's a good feeling. That is what's happened my 19 weeks. I'm craving a lot of cereal. I was able to pretty much detect where he was positioned the other day because I was laying down still. And I had my anatomy scan, which was something, it's so amazing to see every part of your baby and try to figure out what it is. If you've never had one, like I said, it's an in-depth scan and you see absolutely everything. For a while I was sitting like, oh my god, something's wrong, oh my god, something's here, because the ultrasound tech literally focuses on the ultrasound because they have to be able to determine if something is wrong. So she barely does any talking. And once she was done, I went back to the waiting room, waited for the specialist, and then she cleared me and said I was a low-risk pregnancy and everything was perfectly fine. I'm actually going back at 34 weeks to make sure everything still is a-okay, because my doctor likes to have his patients go at 34 weeks, right before the baby is born or at any point. And so that is what it is. I'm going to answer a few questions for you guys. There wasn't a whole lot to update you guys on, but because it was just 1 week versus so many weeks at the same time, so I'm gonna answer probably 2 or 3 questions on here for you guys. The first question is, how are you maintaining weight during pregnancy? I'm not. I actually never track my weight during pregnancy. I track it like I do stand on a scale every so often. I go to the doctor's office, but I'm never like, oh my god, my weight, oh my god, my weight, oh my god, my weight. I have only gained about 25 to 30 pounds in each pregnancy. With both girls, with Alyssa, I was about 27 pounds, and I want to say with Aaliyah, which is my second born, I was 26 pounds. I only gained 26 pounds. And so I don't gain a lot of weight per se. I guess that's the average weight. And the one thing I do think about is I don't want to gain so much weight because I'm such a tiny person, like height wise, I'm such a tiny person that I don't want to gain a lot to where I'm like having difficulty myself, but I also do not like, oh my god, I can't eat that, oh my god, no that. So I guess like I'm not sure how to explain it. I don't do anything specifically, not, you know, to maintain my weight. I just don't go overboard. I'm not the type of person that says I'm eating for two, or and like I just eat a regular size portion. I do eat my cravings every once in a while, and I just eat normal. I don't like go overboard on what I'm eating. So far I have gained 15 pounds in 20 weeks. I do a lot of my weight gain the first 25 weeks, and then it like kind of stops. And so we'll see how this pregnancy goes. So far I have gained 15 pounds in 25 weeks in 20 weeks, and so we'll see what the next 29 weeks goes, because I will have baby by 39 weeks. I will not make it to 40 weeks because it is a repeat C-section. And so I have 29 weeks to go, and we'll see how much weight I gain. Hopefully just my average, another 15 pounds, and keep it within the same average, because I'm not as tiny as I was when I first got pregnant with Alyssa, and I'm not as tiny as I was when I first got pregnant with Aaliyah. Well, yeah, close by. I just was I never went back to my pre-pregnancy weight with Alyssa. And so hopefully I still keep it within the 25 to 30 pounds that I usually gain, but I don't do anything specific to watch my pregnancy weight. Another question was, what is the most challenging part about being pregnant? And I think this time around is the fact that I miscarried, because we worry about every single little thing. For one, I have never been the person to enjoy pregnancy. I don't like being sick. I don't like being exhausted. I don't like being tired. I just don't like not feeling myself. And a majority of my pregnancy is me not feeling myself. The first 25 weeks, or up until at least 25 weeks, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm tired of being tired. And so that is the most challenging part. But even after pregnancy, it's more challenging because you're worried about every single thing. I think Anthony asks me 2 to 3 times a day if everything is okay with baby. I worry about the way I sit down. Did I sit down too fast? Am I standing up too much? Am I carrying Sissy a lot? With the girls, when I was pregnant with the girls, I worried about nothing, really. I just went about my day. I worked in a preschool until the day I went into labor with Alyssa. And with Aaliyah, I was home, but still I carried Alyssa, I cleaned, I worried about my, you know, it was just, I lived normal. This time we have hired out for a cleaner because Anthony doesn't want me moving up and down or moving furniture and stuff like that. And that is the most challenging part. Just, my battery died as I knew it would, but always constantly worrying about if something is wrong is the most challenging part, because I just want to live my life. I want to be able to hold my girls, hug them, play with them, and not worry about, did I sit down too fast? Am I doing too much? I just don't, like, it's just not something I have ever done. I've usually just lived my life and then been able to carry out a healthy pregnancy. And I guess I took that for granted. And I miscarried, and it has changed the dynamic of everything, because like I mentioned, I just think about every little thing. Why isn't he moving? Did he move today? How can I make him move? Like, it's just a lot. But of course, I'm ready to meet him, and it is okay. I would do it 1,000 times over for him and any of my babies. However, this is my last pregnancy, and so I would do it 1,000 times over for him, and I'm just ready for him to be here in 29. Did I say 29 in the earlier clip when I was talking about pregnancy weight? Yes, I did. In the next 19 weeks, I will meet my baby and have him here with me, and with the girls and with Anthony, and it'll just be a good time learning how to be a mom of 3 and a work from home full-time mama. So that'll be fun. One more question is, how did you know this is your last baby? So, girl or boy, this would have more than likely been our last baby. I have always only wanted one baby. All my life, I wanted one child, and I wanted her or it to be a little girl. If you ask my mom, if you ask my aunts, any family members that were close to me growing up, they would tell you Kimberly always wanted one baby, and she wanted it to be a little girl. And so when I had Alyssa, my mom dreams were fulfilled, and as she got older, I wanted more. And I was like, do I want more? But when I first met Anthony and we talked about the future, he always wanted 3 babies because there's 3 of them. Him and his sibling, it's him and 2 older siblings. And so he always thought that 3 was the perfect number. And I am actually the oldest of 3. And so he has always wanted 3, and I was like, we'll see. But after Alyssa got older, kind of like hit the stage Aaliyah is in, the toddler stage, I was like, I want another one. I miss the baby stage. The newborn stage is one of my favorite stages. And so we had Alyssa. We had Aaliyah. And then Aaliyah got older, and I was like, I think I want another one. And one thing that we've always said is if we do have more than one, we want them close in age. Him and his siblings are, he is, I want to say 7 years apart from his oldest sibling, from his sister, and then 4 years apart from his brother, which is the middle one. So the gaps are kind of big, but yeah, they're kind of big. And then myself and my siblings are also kind of big. I'm the oldest, and then I have a brother in the middle, and we are 3.5 years apart. And then I am 11 years apart from my youngest brother. And so we didn't want to have to start over. And so Alyssa and Aaliyah are a couple days shy of 3 years apart. And Alyssa and baby boy will be 5.5 years apart. And Aaliyah and baby boy will be 2.5 years apart. So I think the gap is pretty good. It will be challenging with a 2-year-old, but I think it will do just fine. It was challenging with a 3-year-old, and then starting over would be challenging. And so I don't think there's ever a perfect time to have a baby. I'm a big believer that there's never a perfect time. You never feel prepared to become a parent at any point in life, even if it's your second, third. At least for me, it's just a whole new world all over again. Because when you get into a routine, you pretty much have to start over and find a new routine with a new little person in your life. And so I don't ever feel prepared to become a mom, but I feel prepared to bring another little person into the world, if that makes any sense. And so we knew we wanted 3, and well, he knew he wanted 3, and then my heart kind of led me towards 3. And whether girl or boy, we knew that our family was complete, that this was it. Number 3 was it. And so that's pretty much where we are. We got a little boy, and it'll be a totally different experience, and he has a name if you're new here. And you know, that's pretty much it. That's how we knew. We've always wanted 3, and so we think 3 is the perfect number for our family, and it's complete. As soon as he is here and in the world, our family will be complete. But that is all for today's 19-week appointment. I will answer more questions in the next week, in next week's update. I can't even think. Whew, that was a lot. I'm out of breath. But I will answer more in next week's update and give you guys a rundown on 20 weeks. Until then, don't forget to follow me on social media, like this video if you haven't already, subscribe and join our family, and I will see you the next time. Bye.